Welcome back to another episode of Elevate from Burnout to Bliss. I'm Reginald Clark.
And I'm Ebony Clark. And today, family, we've got an incredible guest in the studio with us.
That's right. He's an amazing entrepreneur who's making some big moves in not just one, but two industries. He's the founder of JCGroup, where he's building from the ground up with new construction, fix and flips, and wholesaling.
And if that's not enough, he's also the founder of FThemFolks, a bold and motivational lifestyle brand with a message of determination, resilience, and mindset over everything.
Today, we're diving into his journey from corporate America to full-blown entrepreneurship, the challenges he's faced, the wins he's celebrating, and the powerful mindset that keeps him pushing forward.
So get ready for inspiration, motivation, and some serious gems that you can apply to your own journey.
Let's welcome my friend, my frat brother, Jeremy Smith, to the Elevate podcast.
Let's go.
All right, guys, we're back for another episode. I think we're on episode 6 from Burnout to Bliss, Elevate. Like we said, we're in the studio with us today is my good friend, my fraternity brother, my partner, Mr. Jeremy Smith. Y'all help me welcome him to the Elevate podcast.
Hey, Jeremy.
What's up, y'all?
So Jeremy is actually, I'm going to let him tell his own story, but I'm glad he's actually in Memphis right now because he'll probably tell you he's over in Charlotte right now doing big things out that way. But Jeremy, one of the things I want to jump right into real quick is tell us, and y'all, let me preface this. One of the reasons I had to get Jeremy as a guest is because he's actually done exactly what we talk to you guys about week in and week out, and that is he made the leap from being, in corporate America to entrepreneurship. Not that that's right for everybody, but he is the guy that's done this. So, Jeremy, tell us real quick, what did life look like for you before you made the jump?
I think for me, it looked like I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. Okay. And I knew I would probably jump into this space. I just didn't know when. Right? Okay. So, in 2020, end of 2020, I lost my job. I was in corporate America. I worked in IT sales at that particular time. Okay. And I lost my gig, and I was slowly churning in the real estate space. And so I was like, okay, I'm still going to find a job. But I was like, you know what? Let me just try to go all in on this just a little bit more. And it kept going in and never stopped. Okay. Right. Okay. So it kind of happened by mistake. Okay. But at the same time, I was still putting my toe in entrepreneurship while I was still working a 9 to 5.
Gotcha.
Got it.
So you was getting your feet wet while you still had the job.
Yeah. And I knew at some point, it would eventually kind of matriculate and come to a point where I would want to do it full time. I just didn't know when it would be.
You said you were in the IT sales space. Was that your career path, or was that kind of you just ended up in that industry?
I just ended up in that space. Initially, I worked for the Memphis Grid. I worked in sports for years, and that was like I love sports. It was my passion, right? Okay. The problem with sports, though, at least on the side that I was on, I was like, you know what, man, you got 82 games a year. I'm going to miss my kids' game. So I was like, I'm over here high-fiving Rudy Gay and Zach Randolph. I'm going to miss my son's game. So,
Dad, where are you?
Right. Or I won't be able to bring my sons to the game. Right. You know what I'm saying? So that was a piece of it. And then, too, so once I got to the sports world, my mentor at the time, a guy named Daryl Freeman, Freeman brought me in. He was like, hey, come do IT for a little while. Let's figure it out. And I started with his company. Then I got an offer to move to another company. Got it. So I've always had this sales background. You know what I mean? So one thing I tell people in sales is, as long as you know sales, you can learn anything. Right?
That's right.
Product knowledge is the easiest thing, right? It's just, truth be told, once you learn, if you have a sales background, I can go from real estate sales to IT to financial advising to whatever. I just need to know the product. Exactly. And after that, it kind of goes from there.
There you go. Now, what question I was going to ask you, you said you always kind of knew you were going to gravitate to the entrepreneur space. What was it because you were dissatisfied with corporate America, or you just thought there was something more that you could be doing? What was that feeling?
No, I think it was more of kind of wanting that time, right? But
get control of your time.
That's the part that they don't tell you about. You work more when you're an entrepreneur than you do when you're not.
That's so true.
Right. There are plenty of days where I work 80 hours in a week.
Right. So you don't have to go work 40.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Right. And oops, we didn't even get paid this week. Right. So I'm like,
but everybody else did.
Yeah. Right. Like, seriously. So I say this because I think we're in a space where I see a lot of this now where people are like, everybody should be an entrepreneur. Right. No, everybody should not be an entrepreneur.
That's exactly right. I agree with that.
And I think we got to make sure we're very clear. There is nothing wrong with having a job.
Absolutely not.
At all.
Let me rephrase. There's nothing wrong with having a career.
Career, yes.
Right?
I agree.
Because there are people who make really good money and love what they do and probably work less than us.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
and could not get that same satisfaction from their job or from their career if they were an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Because it's only so much. I mean, a corporation is a corporation. And so it's a certain skill set that they're looking for and certain satisfaction that they're getting from a Fortune 100 company.
Right.
yeah. Or just even in the space of knowing, like, okay, I would say if everybody a boss, who working?
Right.
right. So everybody can be a boss.
Right.
And I think too, like there's a space where we have to realize, like even as me as a real estate investor, we tap in with people who have money from different spaces. Like, hey, he's an attorney. Well, I got $600,000. I don't know what to do with it. Or I'm a doctor and I want to put my money to use. Or I'm an IT guy. So I tell people, there's nothing wrong with a job. Like, don't let the social media trends of like everybody's got to be a boss and everybody's got there are other ways to diversify your money. There are other ways to manage it. And I think at a space where we see a lot of this in the entrepreneur, there are a lot of unhappy entrepreneurs.
Yes.
You could be an entrepreneur and be making $10,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? And so you got to be able to cipher between the two. Now, I think life is so short that we don't want to spend our time and energy in places where we don't want to be.
Right.
So I don't want you working a job that you hate.
Right.
Like find that passion or find something that makes you feel good about yourself and makes you enjoy what you do. If you wake up every day like, I gotta go here again.
Right.
That's not where you want to be.
It's not. Man, I love that you said that because sometimes as entrepreneurs, I hear people just raining down and crapping on everybody that have jobs.
I hate it.
I hate that, man, because
I'm like, because they work for you.
Right. Or however they find their fulfillment is how they find their fulfillment. Yeah. Everybody ain't built to take on the stress of not getting paid.
Yes.
Or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or the stress of all that comes with that. Like you said, that pendulum has swung the other way, and it's like, oh, you got to, you know, no.
And what happens is, we've read enough books to know that just because you know how to do something doesn't mean that you'll be good at owning a business that does that.
Right.
So you can say it may be your passion and your calling to do XYZ, but you started a business doing it, and now you've lost it. You've lost the passion that you had for it because you got to deal with all the other stuff that goes along with owning a business.
And you got to have tough skin to be an entrepreneur. And I say that in a space where it's not to say that the person who works a job doesn't have the tough skin. It's just one of those things where there are people who work out and there are people who run triathlons, right? So it's like, it doesn't mean I'm not ashamed. It just doesn't mean I just can't run a triathlon. I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean I'm weak. That means I just don't have that.
I can't do that right now.
You got to know your limitations, right?
Right.
It is what it is. It's the same way where I look at my wife and she could do something.
Shout out to Tasia.
She could do something with ease. No lie. So she gonna kill me for this. So yesterday she's doing a speech in front of this big healthcare organization in Charlotte.
Okay.
She's been flipping out about this 4-minute speech for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not that hard. She's like, you don't understand. I'm like, it's not that hard.
Right.
So in my mind, it's super easy.
Yeah.
Flip it. Man, it take me 4 hours to do an Excel doc. She does it in 20 minutes. And it's no problem. So when I'm sitting there, I'm like, how do you do this? Like, I got up 10 times. I had some coffee. I had some water. She knocks it out. So again, does that mean that I'm weak at Excel or weak at... No, that just means that's not my strength.
That's not your strength, right?
Does that mean that she's not a great public speaker? No, that's just...
Not her strength.
That's not her strength.
So, Jeremy, take us to the point. So... I know you started dipping your toe in the water, and the real estate space was how you initially left corporate America, right?
So I actually I don't know where you're going, but I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
With your background being IT sales and sports, why real estate? Like, how did you pick real estate?
So I always knew I read Rich Dad Poor Dad when I was like 17.
Yeah.
And so I always knew I was going to do real estate. I just didn't know when. You know what I mean? So, shout out to Reg. Reg was actually the person that pushed me into real estate, right? Like, he was the one that kind of got me into real estate. So I always knew I was going to do it. I just didn't know the journey that it would kind of, as you dig deeper and you go and you're like, okay, you start out doing a Section 8 property or a rental. And you're like, this is cool. oh, I want to flip a house. And then you flip a house and you're like, oh, I want to build a house. And you build a house, you're like, oh, I want to build a neighborhood.
Right.
Now I want some apartments. So so I knew at the end of the day, when you look at the word real estate refers to the word royalty, right? So when you start thinking about that, that's kind of where it comes from. So for me, that was the space. I knew even if I worked in corporate, I was going to do real estate. Right? Okay. So I always knew it was going to always be real estate in some space.
Yeah. Okay. So y'all, I hope y'all heard that. So his first intro into the entrepreneurial space was real estate. And that was something that, again, even if you didn't choose to go full time, you could have just kept that going along with the job.
Yeah. So, man, it's crazy because I've learned a lot from you. Shout out to you for real. Like, seriously.
That's what's up.
Even watching, so the thing about being an entrepreneur is funny because when you talk to entrepreneurs, they've started so many different businesses beforehand, right? No so they've started so many different things. I remember, my wife started a medical billing company.
Okay.
And so
I remember that.
Yeah, she did Med Advantage, and I still kick her to this day because had she stuck with it when COVID hit, she would have. I swear to God, she would have been through the roof, right?
Yeah.
But I was selling for Med Advantage, and I had no idea what I was selling, but I was getting their clients.
Yeah.
Right. So I was doing it on the side, and we were getting clients, and she was building the business up. I think, just like others like I've done quarterly event planning, I've done a lot of party promotions and put some stuff together on this side. So I've done things in the background for a very long time from an entrepreneurship space. I've done taxes. Right. So, you know what I mean?
Oh,
so
yeah.
we did taxes and, open up tax offices. So you go through the exploratory phase of entrepreneurship, right? That's just part of it. Some people get it right the first time. Some people it takes 15 times before they get it right.
Okay, so now we're at the place where you've decided to, real estate's picking up. What was the moment that you said, you know what? Oh, you may have already shared that. When you decided, I know you said you lost the corporate gig. You already had real estate going. There had to be a space where you said, am I going to go back and add another corporate job, or I'm just going to go full throttle? What did that moment look like?
I think for me, you go back to going back to the corporate job. There are days when I thought about jumping back into corporate, seriously, because I was like, do I do this? Do I not? Real estate's tough, right? There are days, y'all, when I've paid my people and I didn't get paid.
Yes, sir.
There are days when I pull money from my credit card to pay my employees and I didn't get paid.
Right. Oh, my goodness. Come on now.
That's the stuff people don't talk about.
That's what they don't tell you.
That's it. That's what they don't talk about.
So it's like the days where if I'm laying in the bed, I'm like, you can lay here, but you don't have a base salary. You know what I'm saying? There is no base.
There is no base.
So you got to eat what you kill, literally.
Yes, sir.
And from the sales world, I was like, okay, I've always had a base salary. So I'm like, we had a bad month. We'll make it up next month. Ain't like that in entrepreneurship, right?
It's not.
Because them bills still keep coming.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think for me, the biggest thing is just give it another day. Just keep trying. I tell people the two things that will make you reflect on yourself the most is having kids will make you look in the mirror and reflect as yourself as a leader, and being an entrepreneur or being in some type of leadership space.
Right.
Because once you get to that point, it's not about doing the job. It's about evaluating yourself. It's about figuring out how you're wired. What does it take to motivate you? How do you motivate other people? Emotional intelligence. Those things that really people don't teach us in schools. Those are the things that you really start to lean in on. How do I motivate John? Because I can't motivate John the same way I motivate Sarah.
Exactly.
Right? Well, okay, if I'm on them about being on time, I need to make sure I'm on time, right? And making sure I lead by example. So that's the part I tell y'all, like, man, when you're in an entrepreneurship world, you reflect on yourself. You're fixing yourself every day because you're leading other people. And you don't want to be a hypocrite.
Right.
So,
and other people are counting on you to make good decisions.
Absolutely.
Like you said, you're leading other people.
Yeah.
So you gotta have it. You gotta appear to have it together when sometimes you may or may not.
You really don't, right? And it's entrepreneurship is also going to be a very lonely journey.
Lonely world.
If you're not careful, because you're like, nobody understands what I'm going through. That's why you have to find good, like-minded people to be able to communicate with and go through.
Yeah, that's a gem right there. That's a gem. He just dropped one on you.
But I think anybody in my space, what I would tell them right now, if you're like, I working in corporate, but I want to do something else. One of the things I look back at it, I wish I would have done differently. I really wish I would have jumped into entrepreneurship and still kept corporate for a minute.
Okay.
And leveraged both.
Gotcha.
Right? Especially in real estate. So when I started real estate, man, I was using what's called hard money loans. So these are basically like loan sharks in so many words. Without calling it directly, right? It's just a prettier term. But I'm using these folks, and I'm realizing, I was like, bro, I got a 780 credit score. I make really good money on a W-2.
Right.
I should be using the bank.
Right.
Why am I using hard money? And I realized that had I built the relationships with the banks love people with W-2s, especially in real estate. You are so attractive on a W-2 with a bank, and you're doing the entrepreneurship chase.
Right.
You have a really good chance of getting more funding than somebody like myself who used a hard money lender. And I'm like, I didn't ever have to use a hard money lender because I was actually in a pretty good position at the time, but I didn't know. And once I started, I kind of went down that rabbit hole. It's too late now.
Right.
And then you learn from it and you get better. So
the gym that one of the gym, when I said, y'all, he dropping gym, Jeremy just said, surrounding yourself with like-minded people because it's a lonely road.
Yes, it is.
It's a lonely road. One more thing I want to throw in there too. If you step out into the entrepreneur space full time and you have to take a step back into the corporate world, that's not a step. That's not a step. That's not a failure. That's not a step
definitely
back.
Not
it's
a failure.
part of an overall plan. I think we've shared before. Ebony went back into the corporate world at least twice, right? When we was all in, she went back into the corporate space twice so that we could get the time we needed, the stability we needed to be able to go.
You know what's crazy? I watched y'all do that.
Yeah.
I actually talked to Tay. We were talking about that last week. I was like, that was so dope because that's the whole shameless plug. We'll talk about it later, but when I do FThemFolks, we're gonna drop. Our whole brand is the motivation. I don't really like the end.
Okay.
I'm not impressed with the end. I like the middle.
Yeah.
I'm more impressed with the middle than the end.
Right.
I know you won. I'm cool with that. Tell me about your middle part because that's where most people are.
Right.
I want to know, okay, like you said, hey, we have to jump back in here twice. Right? Tell me about that because that's the stuff I don't see, but that's the stuff I want to know about because there's somebody who's going through that right now. Right? And the part about it is when you're going through a journey, you're trying to figure out something, the one thing you don't want to do is feel like you're alone.
Exactly.
Right? Everybody tells you about their wins. Nobody tells you about their losses.
Yes.
And the losses actually matter more than the wins because they build you up to win. You got to know how to lose to win.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And people don't talk about that stuff.
That's
so
right.
for me, it's like that's the part. Like you said, I'm like, man, there's a story you told me that I still hold true to this day. You didn't realize after you left that you walked
home.
You walked home.
5 miles.
You walked home.
Yeah.
And you met with your client.
Yes.
That's the part of
real
the
story.
journey that's really, really good.
That's right.
Right? We see P3. We see where we've grown. We know where you at, but dang, you walked home after me with a client.
I walked all the way to the crib.
So it's somebody right now that's going through that same thing.
Yes.
Right.
And they're listening and they're like, oh my gosh. So I'm not the only one. No, you're not the only one.
You're not the only one. Not the only
So-
one. Y'all, stay with us through this break. When we come back, we're going to talk about Jeremy's clothing brand called FThemFolks. Remember, it's time to elevate.
And we're back. So we are here with Jeremy Smith, founder of JCGroup and FThemFolks motivational brand. This is Reginald and Ebony Clark, the Elevate podcast. So Jeremy, last segment you briefly mentioned your clothing brand, FThemFolks. Tell us, where did that name come from, and what does that brand mean?
So initially, I created FThemFolks because I had this idea in my mind. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do an eye chart, and so I did this eye chart, and I said instead of putting a regular name, I did FUCK. Well, I really didn't say FUCK. I put FU-K. Them folks, right?
Right.
I don't know what cursing hurts, so I don't want to say that.
Right.
So
I think we're okay with spelling this.
yeah, so you get the premise of it. So that was the first, but at the bottom of it, in the very small letters, I put follow your dreams. Right? So the whole premise of it was I just did this shirt, and I did another shirt that said follow your dreams. I did another shirt called follow your vision. And so the whole goal behind it was, I was like, man, nobody sees what you see. And so for me...
Oh, that's what the glasses were for. Okay.
Yeah. So, but it's even deeper than that because... So I was born with I'm legally blind, technically, right? So I would, even when I was younger, I had a gas tank explode in my face when I was 3, right? So I would go to the doctor and they were like, look at this eye chart. And I'm like, bro, we do this every year. You know I can't see this, right? So it would become frustrating to me over years and years and years. And so they were like, well, he won't be able to drive. He won't be able to play an instrument. He won't be able to live a normal life. Well, it's crazy. I was like second chair in the band.
Come on.
I drove here. You know, I got a wife, got a kid.
Right.
You know, I'm a business owner. So it was one of those things where even my mom was always like, forget that. Don't worry about it. Focus on that, right? So I created the FThemFolks brand. Initially, the first one was the curse word on there, kind of, sort of, but it gravitated to people. We wound up, we were on the Breakfast Club.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that, yeah.
And so I was blown away. I was like, this little brand is kind of taking off. And it was like, my whole vision of the brand was, this is not for everybody.
Right.
This is only for people who go through adversity or have to been through something and be like, man, F them folks. Oh, you're not going to do this. F them folks. Do it anyway. So I'm like, you can say F them folks, F-U-C-K them folks. You can say forget them folks. You can say forgive them folks. Choose your F, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
for me, it was like the whole goal was, even with my little brother, so we would always work. You know, he's a quarterback. So we would be on the field, and he's like, Jay, I'm like, man, F them folks, do it anyway, right? And I didn't say F, I would say the real word.
Right.
But I'm like, that sometimes you need that motivation, right? Because everybody would see the eye chart, and the biggest thing what they saw was the F them folks, the curse word, right?
So, this is so crazy. I've seen that eye chart. I never knew what the significance of the eye chart with the brand to right now.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So, in the very small bottom, so when people are like, your shirt says F them folks. I'm like, no, it doesn't. My shirt doesn't curse. I say it says F-U-K, right? It doesn't say F-U-C-K. It doesn't say it. I said, but here's the thing. People see the negative and they never see the positive sometimes. So you saw the F them folks, but you didn't pay attention to the bottom. And this is where people would actually go crazy about it. I was like, yeah, did you look at the bottom of the shirt? In the small letters where it gets tinier, it says follow your dreams.
Yeah.
So when you look at it, you're like, you're focusing on one piece of it. Don't worry about that part. Follow your dreams.
Yeah.
Everybody won't see your dreams, but you do. You know they're there. Most people will say what can't be done or what they've seen, or people will cast what's happened to them on you.
Exactly.
Right. That ain't my goal. So you've got to have a piece of toughness there, right? You got to fight through it. And like I said, the brand isn't for everybody. So when I would wear it, I got a lot of pushback, even in a corporate space. They kind of push back. Oh, what's up with this brand? Is it racial? I was like, how is it racial? Like, where'd you get that from? Right? I was like, never said anything racial. I was like, matter of fact, we got white clients. What are you talking about?
Right.
And I was like, the whole goal of the brand was actually to give. We kind of started to want to give back more to the Mid-South Lions Club, which is for visually blind. Okay. So we wanted to do, that was a piece of what we wanted to do, and we're still going to do it. We just kind of fell off for a minute. But the whole premise of it was really, it's a motivational brand.
So when you started, you were still in Memphis?
Yeah. And talk about an entrepreneur, man. I remember the day we were supposed to lunch. We were lunching May 19th, which is the day before my son's birthday. I'll never forget it. My guy was supposed to do my website. Where's my website at? He didn't get my website done. I stayed up all night and did my website myself.
Wow. Come on.
Wow.
And we lunched at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so that's that part of entrepreneurship where I tell people, man, like, you ain't got to be great at it, but you got to jump in there when stuff don't get done. You got to do it.
At the end of the day, it's your responsibility because it's your baby.
Yes, it is your baby. So I was like, we started it. We printed shirts, just kicks and giggles. And, man, I think we sold no marketing. We probably shipped to 48 states.
Oh, wow.
Come on, huh?
Without any marketing whatsoever. Right. So we did it. I think for me, when I jumped into the real estate space, I took a step back from it. But it's so crazy because I get more people now telling me how much they actually need the brand.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how much we were impacting people until I started getting people sending me stories. They're like, oh, your brand really motivates me. It really pushed us through. And like I said, even like the new merch we're dropping with the new concept is a visionary.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's so nice.
It's nice.
I told them I want one of the first ones off the press.
We're all visionaries. And we have to find the people to help us be our best selves. And it's not about aligning yourself with a lot of people. It's about aligning yourself with the right people. So my goal is I've always wanted to make sure I motivate people. And so like going back to what you're saying, the whole premise of FThemFolks is I'm not impressed with the end. I'm impressed with the journey. I learn more from your journey.
Right.
Remember, I just told you the story that you told me. Why did I? It's not about your bad that I'm harping on. It's the fact that, man, you went through some. Because sometimes we look at it like, man, Reg and Ebony don't go through nothing. Them folks got it. They good, right? Boy, only if you knew.
Only if you knew.
Right? Well, guess what? People do need to know.
Yeah.
So when we start doing FThemFolks, it's like, man, it's not about the big Jay-Z's or the big, Grant Cardones. I like the regular people. So that's why I did FThemFolks. I'm like, bro, this brand is for regular people, just people who are just trying to figure it out and just want to push.
Man, that's good stuff. Here's a question, and maybe an idea. Do you capture the stories people seeing? Are they displayed anywhere? Maybe scrolling?
So we did it for a while. And again, I don't kill me because we're rebranding.
Okay.
We did it for a while on social media. Social media changed so much in the time that we launched FThemFolks. Okay. So now, Lord Jesus, and it's funny how IT moves, but it moves fast.
It does.
And so now we're at a space where I really want to captivate that more. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it's like I'm not just looking for the guy who runs the $20 million firm. I'm the guy that runs the $200,000 firm. Yeah. But I think his story is dope too.
Yeah.
Because I think to me, it's a movement. It's not just a brand. It's a movement.
Man, we went to, it was so crazy. Me and Tasia went to New York, and we had our FThemFolks gear on, whatever. Man, them folks went crazy over it. I'm telling people, like, oh my gosh, we love it. What is it? All that, this and that. So,
because I think it's the story behind it.
It's the story behind it. And I think the eye chart gets people talking. So I was going to get rid of it, and we're actually going to do a little tweaking to it, and we're going to bring it back. And it's one of those things where it makes people uncomfortable until we have the conversation. And they're like, oh, my gosh, this is so cool.
I saw a lady in the grocery store with the eye chart FThemFolks shirt on. And I was like, he's my friend. I know him.
Yeah. So I think obviously the initial thing people seek is the attention getter.
Yes.
But then there's now what's the story behind the brand?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's the part that's captivating.
I will say this, man. And I'm kind of an innovative person to some degree. Man, we were doing QR codes before COVID. Yeah. So we had QR codes on our shirts. Okay. And so when people would ask you about it, I was like, tell them to hit the QR code. Yeah. On the tell them to hit the QR code on your shirt, and it took you to the website. Right. And so the goal was really, and we're going to do it, is like each QR code tells a different story. So it may be we highlight somebody else for that month. Oh, wow. So each QR code tells a different story.
Yeah,
so,
Jeremy, I've known Jeremy quite a while. He is a marketing master.
Oh, yeah.
He's great. So, Reggie, when you talked about this being a movement, it is so crucial because of the type of world we live in right now with social media. Everybody is ultra concerned with what other people think.
Absolutely.
In that they will create fake content and fake scenarios just to get likes. It's like you look like you're jet setting on a plane and you're really in somebody's backyard. So the message that FThemFolks has is it does not matter what other people think. You follow what you want to do.
And the one word that comes to mind for the brand is authenticity, if I'm saying that right.
Yes.
It's the brand that promotes you to be your authentic self. You don't have to be this social media version of yourself.
Right. You can be you. You can be you can be you. Everybody has their own journey, their own path. No two people are the same. Right. No two people will get to the same destination the same way. It's yours.
Mm-hmm. I think the thing that I see too is social media is great, but it's a polarity, right? Yeah. It is a good and a bad. And I used to be like, it's really good. And I'm like, man, the more I watch it, it kind of turns my stomach because I see people who share bad news for likes and these points. And I'm like, do y'all realize we're in a society where they're rewarding you for sharing bad news?
Right, right.
Like, we're in a society where AI allows you to create bad narratives for people. And so for me, I was like, man, we're in a society where I think people are so judgmental, right, that we don't give each other grace. Right. And that's the one thing I've been telling people. I'm like, man, we got to give each other more grace.
Right.
We're so hard on each other, y'all. Like,
so very hard on each other.
Man, if you don't have mental toughness, I do see why people flip out. Like sometimes because, man, I look at it like Facebook is cool. It's not real. Right. Nobody. Have you ever seen anybody post their accounts in the negative on Facebook? I've never seen it. I've never seen. Have you seen anyone show you that their credit card's over their limit?
Nope.
I've never seen it.
Not gonna see it.
Have you ever seen somebody post a pre-foreclosure on Facebook? They're never gonna show it to you. Right. And so I just think we would look at celebrities. Like, I don't get into the whole celebrity space like that with what they do because I realize they're still people too.
That's right.
Right? They gonna make mistakes just because they got $10 million. Don't mean they're not gonna make stupid mistakes. You make stupid mistakes and you make $10,000. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. But we're so in a space of everybody wants to look like they got it together.
Right.
Nobody wants to, again, when I say nobody wants to look like they failed.
And the minute you slip, there are 10,000 people ready to pounce on you.
Ready to pounce.
Yeah.
And constantly rehearse your losses. Like, and nobody asked you to do that.
Dave Chappelle said something. He said, the cowards rejoice when the winners lose.
That's so true.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm at a space where I'm like, bro, like, again, when I went back to going to FThemFolks, I loved it because I knew it rattled folks' cage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I knew it was like, somebody was like, oh my gosh, I would never wear anything like that. I was like, really? Tell me more. Right? So I'm like, now you got my attention. And it's like, after I talked to him, I'm like, well, cool, I get it. This is what our brand stands for, right? I was like, our website is not FUCKThemFolks.com. It's FThemFolks.com. Right. It could be Forget Them Folks. And we're actually going to do a Forget Them Folks shirt. And I looked at it even with kids. Right, even with bullying and stuff like that. And, man, there are people with disabilities. There are people who go through so much stuff that have to have that mentality. Yes. Because if they took what the world gave them, they would sit in a corner and pout.
I saw a story.
Or worse.
Or worse. You're so right. I saw a story recently. It was a lady, just a middle-aged black lady. She posted a selfie, and she has very defined features. Yeah. And all of social media completely went in calling her ugly, but it was like the majority, 99% of the comments were completely negative. And she essentially said, F them folks. And she's turned it into something positive because she knows that their opinions does not make who she is.
We need to find her, track her down, and send her a show.
Yes.
Yeah, like some of the people I like seriously, because I'll see people, on social media, and they'll say something, and I'll go put the FThemFolks logo in there and just drop it in and I'll keep going. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes the word fits the situation. Like, I'm sorry, I want to be politically correct, but sometimes you got to say what it is. You got to just be direct with it. And there was a book that I read called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Right. And I was like, well, if he can do it instead of me, I know I'm cool. And I got where he was coming from when I read that book. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I got a president that curses every day, so I was like, dog, if my one word is going to offend you, cool. But just understand why I'm doing this, right? You got to dig deep to have that type of resilience.
That fortitude.
Yeah, man, like I told you, dog, they told me every day I would never do this. And I was like, F them folks, do it anyway. Right.
I even see, I love business, so the ideas are just but I even see a sports version of the brand.
So I love it too. So we're going to do a drop called Built for the Underdog, worn by winners. Trust me, I'm already there. Okay. And the shirt is going to be cool because it's going to be, let's say, built for the underdogs, but it won't actually show worn by winners until you sweat, and then you make it show.
Man.
So, yeah,
that's tight.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure Quincy's the first person to.
Yeah, there you go. One thing I want to get in before we got about a minute. I want to get this in. One thing I've shared on this podcast to our listeners, Jeremy, is that the biggest prison that exists is not, the Alcatraz Alley or Alligator Alley, whatever they call it. It's not San Quentin. It's fear.
Yes.
Fear is the biggest prison. And your brand flies in the face. It tears that down. Fear is keeping so many of the listeners right now on the side. Some of y'all got a business pent up inside of you. But the reason you haven't done it is because you scared of what he's going to say, what she going to say, what they going to say. Fear is keeping you locked. Because we teach kids from the early age to conform, get in a straight line, dress like everybody else.
Raise your hand,
not stand out. We teach people to fear public opinion. Your brand is tearing those walls down, and I love it. People got to learn just to say, man, F them folk, whatever that, fill it in the blank however you want to, and keep pushing forward. Y'all, stay with us through the break. We got one more segment coming up where Jeremy's going to tell about his real estate company. Y'all, stick with us. It's time to elevate. And we are back. We're back back with this final segment of episode 6. Reginald Clark, Ebony Clark sitting here with Jeremy Smith. If you guys missed the first 2 segments, I'm telling you, go to your favorite podcast place, hit the play button because you missed some great gems. Jeremy just giving it to us. And, told us how he left corporate America, how he started his brand, his clothing brand, which in my mind is a movement.
It is definitely a movement.
Way more than a brand. And we're highly anticipating the relaunch of that brand even now. But now we want to switch the conversation over to what initially was your initial first step out of corporate America, and that was the real estate space. And I know you started the Jamaica Real Estate Group. Tell us more about it. Matter of fact, I think Ed wants you to start with just walk us through that very first real estate deal when you stepped on out there.
My first deal, I love to tell the story. My first deal, y'all, I bought a property in Memphis, Tennessee. It was off North Watkins. I never forget it. I'll tell anybody who wants to do real estate, get the money first, right? And what I mean is have capital first. You can look at a million deals, but if you ain't got no money, they're useless, right? So at that particular time, I had a Chase credit card, and I had a $25,000 limit. I didn't use it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy me a house. I was like, I'm going to buy one this week. And I was looking, and we found this house for $12,000. So I was like, okay, $12,000. I was like, it shouldn't cost me more than about $8,000 to rehab it. I pulled $23,000 off. I sent Tasia an invoice, so that's when Tasia had me an advantage. I sent her an invoice for $23,000, and I paid it with my credit card. And I said, hey, man, it was 2 o'clock in the morning. I was like, hey, you got $23,000 I need it. She's like, what are you talking about? I was like, I sent myself $23,000 to see if it worked. And it worked. Yeah. So I was like, oh my gosh.
So you got creative.
So I got creative, right? My first deal. 2 days later, I bought a house. Right? So boom. I took $12,000, I think $13,000. I took $5,000 for the rehab. And I took the rest to pay the credit card bill off each month.
Yeah.
Until I refied. So once I refied it, then I paid everything off. So I was all in on the deal for like $20K. I rented that property out up until last year for $1,500 a month.
Nice.
Wow. Come on.
So that was my first deal. And man,
nice.
I was still working. I was working at Zycron at the time when I was working with Daryl, and I was doing that. And man, that's crazy. We started a truck company too at the same time. I'm telling you, man, I've always had that treasure. We started a truck. Yes, bro, that was brutal. So I was learning real estate doing a truck company and still working in IT. And so, man,
you pick up the phone, you don't know what to talk about,
bro. You talk about every day was a learning experience. Yeah. I'm like, man,
is this about a house, truck late, or is this about the car?
I remember my first truck driver was trying to fight me in the truck yard. I was pissed. And he's like, "Wow, I'm a world class driver." I was like, "Well, you about to get a world class whooping in just a second because I'm over here fighting with my electrician. I'm dealing with this, and then I'm trying to make sure the job knows." They're like, "Where you at?" "Oh, I'm on my way." So that was funny. But nah, man. So we did the first deal, and then I was like, "Okay, once you get through it," shout out to Lamontis Woods. Lamontis was the very first person who helped me in real estate. I never forget paying that man money. And I just watched him walk away from my house, and he was getting in his car, and I was like, man, he just smiling as he walking away, and I'm like, man, this man take my money, we got a problem. Because I never paid for a mentor, right? And it was one of the best things I did. Like, I would tell people who want to get into real estate, unfortunately, it's so saturated now with everybody's charging for the smallest things.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But a good mentor is nothing wrong with that. Like, I've mentored people. Mentors don't stop you from making mistakes. They just help you not make so many, and they help you elevate. Because sometimes you can have a session with me, and I can give you some advice that will honestly save you $10,000. Right? And you're like, "Oh, you're charging me XYZ." Don't find a scammer. Find people who really want to do it. Right? Don't be impressed with the person in real estate who's showing you the Lambo and the Rolexes and all this other stuff. That's cool, but tell me about your losses. Right? Tell me about how to navigate through some stuff. Right? So, again, going back to it, that was my first deal. Then I did my first flip project, Lord Jesus. That one was tough. Reg was right there with that one, too. I never forget sitting on that porch with Reg. I was like, dog, I think I want out on this one. He was like, well, you're too deep in now. You can't quit. And I was like, man, we went through that project. And me and my cousin went through it, and it wound up being a great project at the end.
It's a beautiful house.
It is.
And it took me a year to finish one house, right? And I learned from that so much, right? When you're in real estate, when you don't know what you're doing, take your ego out of it, right? And I was trying to piece GC subs together and do it, and I'm still working a job. Now I'm working at C-Spire, and I'm still working. And this is right before COVID was starting to happen, so stuff was getting crazy. And man, when I tell y'all that project whooped my butt because I didn't want to put no crap out. I've never put crap out on real estate.
That's right.
Never. I've lost on projects just to make sure that we get a good project.
Right.
So that was one of the things that we, my first project, big flip. It was actually 4 stories.
Yeah, that's big house.
It was a basement and had 3 other levels. Lord, I would have, looking back now, I know what I would have did differently. And trying to be somewhat cheap.
Yeah.
Right? Guy told us, like, I can do the whole thing for $60,000. You can do this whole house for $60,000? Yeah. Boy, please. We was a weekend and we was already $20,000. We had done nothing but the roof, the windows, and scrape some paint. I was like, nah, this ain't gonna work, bro.
Jeremy, I remember we were walking through the house and you were like, I think I want to go on the walls. I'm like, why do you want to go on the walls? You were like, because I don't know what's behind them. I said, that's why you don't go on the walls. Because if you open the wall, now you got to fix whatever's in it. You are now liable for what's behind the wall.
It was so funny, y'all. But no, so that kind of started the spark of real estate. You know what I'm saying? Even I look back, Reg's like, you got to complete this project. And so I tell people in real estate too, some deals you got to wipe your butt with the money. And it's more about the experience that you learn from it than sometimes the profit.
That's right. That's right.
So if you're somebody, again, who's in corporate, who's thinking about doing real estate, don't quit your corporate job. You just got to twerk both for a minute. Because what can happen is if you rely solely on real estate to be your bread and butter, then what happens when the deal does not work out? Now you got the pressure of finishing the deal and still covering your mortgage.
Yes.
Right? So I would tell somebody, if you think about pivoting, cool, but be smart how you pivot.
Right.
Real estate is a shark game. It is a very tough game. It is a very lucrative game, but guess what? If you can if you can make a lot of money, you can lose a lot.
You can lose a lot. That's right.
And not everything has to be either or. It can be both and.
Yeah.
I remember early on, I never ever forgot this. I remember early on, again, you bring up Lamartis now. I remember he said one time, he said, don't ever have a bill you have to pay off a real estate deal closing.
Yes.
Closings get pushed back, they get delayed, they get whatever. But if you got a bill lined up, it's okay, I'm going to pay that as soon as I close. Man.
I'm going to tell you something. I've been in a situation where I need that closing to hit so bad. That day on that Friday, and it didn't close, and I'm like, yep, I already knew. Like, it only happens when I need the money. When I don't need it, it goes smooth. Today, the day that I need it.
Remember Christmas Eve that one year?
One year, me and Eb closed on Christmas. We needed a deal to close.
We needed it.
And it closed on Christmas Eve, and that was the money we used to shop for our kids' Christmas with. Like, that was it. So,
we were at the bank when it opened that morning.
First Tennessee, right over there in, what's that part of town?
Hickory, Fox Meadow.
Fox Meadow. I still remember. We helped them unlock the door. Hey, we got a check for you? Yeah, we need that right now.
I remember, y'all, it's funny because, and I'm still you still got your little phobias and things. I tell Tage, I said, even coming here this week, I said, every time I get in the air, when I land, something crazy happens, especially in the real estate space. Man, I remember one time me and Tasia were going on a cruise, no lie. Y'all, we landed in Miami. I had 3 deals fall apart right before we get on the cruise ship.
Oh, my goodness.
You talk about...
So they're falling apart while y'all in the air.
They're falling apart in the air. So when I open it, when I put airplane mode off, go back, blue. What? How? I'm like, look, I knew this one was going to fall apart. Something told me this one was going to go close. And I was just like, I showed her phone. She's like, you got to be joking me. I was like, so sadly, I try to fly early in the morning, late at night. I do, man, because it's like, it's real estate. It happens. It's a tough game.
Yes, it's a tough game. So, Jeremy, tell us about one of your most memorable, you don't have to give us the exact numbers, but one of your most memorable wins in real estate.
Man, I think we did a project one time. We were in it for 21 days, and we made like $85,000.
Nice.
Yeah. Was that a Memphis deal?
That was a Memphis deal.
Oh, man, that's good.
We did one in Tampa. We didn't even see the project. We bought it. We saw a sight unseen. I think we made like $20,000.
Wow.
And we never touched it.
Never touched the project.
Took it down, relisted it, and we sold it. And
so that was a wholesale deal?
No, we took it down. We actually
okay.
It's kind of like wholesaling it. So basically, you take it down and you put it back on the market.
And just put it right back out there.
Put it right back on the market. We made like $20,000. That was cool.
Wow.
I mean, we had a wholesale deal one time and this is where it really kind of motivates you too. 1 month, I think we made like $130,000.
Nice.
In a month of wholesale, which blew my mind. I was like, dog, we actually made $130K wholesaling.
Right.
And guess what? Next 2 months, we only made like 5.
Yeah.
So, that taught me some stuff too, right? Entrepreneurship is ebbs and flows. So you like, boom, I had 130K. I know I'm going to do 200 next month. You might, or you might do 0. So you just because you made 130K, I mean, you get to live off 130K.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So,
and that, again, I love that you share the ups and the downs because so many people don't see that. And y'all, one thing that's coming through clear in this episode, if you hear Jeremy keep repeating it, you don't have to step away, or at least not too soon, from your corporate job. I tell people all the time, keep the job until the job is costing you to be there.
there you go.
If it's not costing you to be, like if you're not missing out on major money consistently because you're at work, then you need to keep the job. Keep it till not till you get tired of it, because you're tired of it already, but keep it till it starts to cost you.
And consistently. When he says consistently, he don't mean like a month and a half.
No.
Several months.
Several months. It's like, man, I'm losing money by being at work for several months in a row. Then now maybe it's time to take that step.
Man, I'm going to tell you something crazy. There's a big time builder here in Memphis.
Okay.
And I got a lot of respect for him. He is amazing. I just found out. I'm like, they were like, yeah, you work at FedEx too. You work at FedEx. And he building these $1 million houses.
Yeah.
He's working at FedEx, right?
Wow.
And so I say that because, again, I got a homeboy right now. He works for a company in sales. He makes $200,000 a year. And hell, he do more real estate deals than me.
Wow.
So you think about it. Now, it's easy to do deals when you don't have pressure.
It is.
Yes.
Like when you don't have that pressure, it's easier to do deals. So going back to what you said, Ed, you're like, hey, we have to pivot and adjust. Hey, I'm going to go work for a minute because, yes, if P3 is making money, I still got to invest in P3 and I still got to take care of the house. Well, we got to leverage this thing out a little bit because I still want the business to grow.
Yeah.
So you got to do what you got to do to figure it out. You know what I mean? Entrepreneurship, as I'm learning, is not just a straight line. It's dips and peaks and valleys and ups, down. You may jump back up and go back down again. It's just part of it. So to your listeners, I would say if you're looking to jump into real estate, if you thought, here's another thing. Real estate is so cool that you don't have to be on the ground to do real estate.
That's what I was going to bring up.
Right?
That's right.
So we got people we partner with from a private money standpoint and say, hey, look, I want to get into real estate, but I don't want to deal with subcontractors. I don't want to find the deals. I want to give you $100,000 and you give me a 12 to 15% return on my money.
Right.
Cool. Right.
And this money that's probably sitting in the bank account making 2%.
Yeah. So it's other ways to get into real estate. You can do syndications if you want to get into it. And you got to have a stomach. I'm going to tell you something, man. Dealing with contractors is a lot.
Yeah.
You got to have a really good temperament with contractors. And I never forget it. My shout out to my boy Melvin Johnson. Melvin said, Jay, you got to remember, you're dealing with people that eat lunch in their trucks.
Oh, my goodness.
And I was like, you know what?
Oh, my.
You're right. So you have, and it's not a looking down on thing. You just have to realize.
Different lifestyle.
Yeah. A lot of people, when you come from a corporate world, when you're dealing with the blue collar person, they looking at you differently and you looking at them differently. They look at, like, we're going to get the job done and we're going to knock it out. But you're looking at processes and systems and procedures. Like, hold on, boss. I need you to put that in an invoice. I need you to send it to me. I need you to give me a timeline. You're like, nah, we're going to get it done today, and I need the money by the night. So somebody who's a corporate person, like, hold on, I can't deal with this. Let's get to the CRM tool. Let's get to Salesforce, and let me make sure I got all this stuff. So you got to realize there's a different world.
That's right.
And we both need each other, though. The investor can't do it without the contractor, and the contractor can't do it without the investor.
So, I want to make sure, I need to go back and underscore something Jeremy just said. If you're listening and you want to get into that space, but you don't have the temperament, the time, the expertise to work with contractors and do all of that. What he just said was he partners with people that's willing to invest private money, your own money, and give you a very, very attractive rate of return, off real estate. So that's something some of you may be interested in doing. I've worked with Jeremy. I'm telling you, he does top notch, and I wish we had time so he could tell you about the quality and the I'm sure he could direct us to all his handles, but the quality of work that he puts out. But Jeremy, in the time we have left, let people know how to get in touch with either about FThemFolks or real estate.
So FThemFolks is www.FThemFolks.com. FThemFolks.com. So we are getting ready for our new lunch, and we're getting ready to launch in less than 30 days, right?
Gotcha.
So If you go on there, there's a site that says, there's first thing that pops up that says get our updates.
Okay.
Right now, sign up for the updates, because when we do the launch, we're going to send out a special code for the people to get the merch first.
Okay.
And that's just so small as, and we've been going for a minute, but we appreciate y'all for hanging in there with us. Right. So that's FThemFolks. And as far as on the real estate space, you can find me on Instagram, probably more on Instagram, more so than anything. My hashtag is Mr. Smith 1911.
Okay.
All right. So Mr. Smith 1911, or you can email me at jsmith@jcgrealestate.com.
But man, look, it has been absolutely awesome having Jeremy here with us. But y'all, another great episode with, again, Jeremy Smith.
Always goes by so fast.
It always goes by so fast. Founder of FThemFolks, Jamaica Real Estate Group. Jeremy's making big things happen. He gave y'all his handles. We appreciate you being here, man. We'll be back same time next week. Remember, it's time to elevate.